Hey guys, SeriousTreebornFrog here, and today I'm going to be making a video on cheating. Recently, a couple of friends, one friend has messaged me on Facebook and said, I feel like I could top a lot of events, but I feel like everyone's cheating me, and I don't know how to prevent it. And I told them a couple of ways of how to prevent it. And people at locals just like to assume all their opponents are cheating them. Like, oh, I got cheated. It's kind of annoying because I think a lot of people are accusing people that don't cheat. And secondly, it's easy to catch cheaters, even like good cheaters. You just have to pay attention to them and follow a few steps that I'm going to put in the video. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's just get started with the video. I hope you like it. Alright, next up is lapping. That's when you get a card from your lap and somehow manage to get it to your hand. It's usually people do this with like good cards such as like Gateway of the Six Samurai, Trap Dust Shoot, maybe like a tour guide or 1-for-1 or something. Yeah, but Joe is going to do this with a Gateway of the Six Samurai. Even though he's running plants, it's just an example. I don't really know how people get it from their lap to the hand, but they like drop their hand and then they pretend to like pick it up, and then they have a gateway in their hand. Oh, whoa! What? He dropped his hand.
I went 3 Thunder Kings.
Oh, see, he's stacked. He's a stacker. Okay. Next example's coming up. Alright, next up is palming. This is when someone, usually with big hands, puts a card in their palm.
Which I definitely don't have.
They put a card in their palm so that you can't see it, and when they pretend to draw, the card is on the top of their deck, or they pretend to draw it, and it looks like they didn't even have it in their palm the whole time. Yu-Gi-Oh! Trader 101 is going to give you an example, so why don't you just do it now?
Alright, well, usually they're shuffling. They'll present the deck to the opponent while they'll grab the deck.
Alright, we saw that, but he has,
are very small.
Okay, you need to have bigger hands.
You have bigger hands.
You guys understand. So he's...
And then the opponent will give me his deck, I'll cut it, give it back. My opponent's probably not paying attention now. I'm just like...
Okay, he sucks at this,
yep.
but yeah, that's the point. Oh, look, he drew Gateway.
Oh, yeah. Let's see how bad this hand is. Gateway in my hand, yeah.
Guys, you don't even need to cheat if you run plants, it's just too good.
It's just too good anyway.
Alright, next up is bottom drawing. That's when your opponent like keeps an eye on the bottom of their deck, and then they usually put a good card on the bottom, and they pretend to draw from the top, but they actually are drawing from the bottom. So keep an eye out for that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Trader 101 is going to give you an example. So, all right.
I'll try again.
Sorry, we're not cheaters, so it's hard to cheat. So.
All right, second try.
This video is going to be so long.
I know.
It's going to be like a 30-minute video.
I used to be good at this.
You know this is on YouTube, right?
I know, but we practice this on a hotel, on a flight over.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Trader 101 practices cheating.
No.
Just keep going.
On a YCS.
Okay, we're at 45 seconds, and this is like one of 25 skits.
Damn it. I delete this video.
No. Alright. Alright,
go.
look at this. Look at this, YouTube. Oh!
That was actually pretty good.
I'm a better cheater than him.
Yeah, he's... Okay.
Alright. Yeah.
I guess we know who the cheater
is. Next up is Hindu shuffling. This is when your opponent sees the bottom card of their deck and they shuffle in a certain way where they lock their 2 fingers onto the bottom 2 cards of their deck and they keep shuffling until the bottom card gets to the top.
Towards the top, so it's in your opening hand.
See, look, Gateway. Gateway was in his hand because he Hindu shuffled. It's pretty obvious if you keep an eye on your opponent just doing it, so if you see them like locking their fingers onto a card, they might just be stacking.
I know.
Next up is watching your opponent shuffle. If you notice your opponent looking down at the deck, they might just be like looking at the bottom cards and putting all the good cards at the bottom of your deck. A way to avoid this is simply to look at your opponent, show them that you're looking at them shuffling their deck, and yeah. Here's an example of like someone looking at the deck. It's pretty simple. Oh look, He's looking down at the deck. It kind of looks like he can see it, so yeah, don't let them do that. Next is 8-5 pile shuffling. What this is when someone just like stacks their deck in a certain order where when they can do pile shuffles of 8 and 5 to make it so they have a perfect hand every time.
It's 41, so this doesn't work.
Yeah, he runs a 41 card deck, but alright, here's an example. He has the monsters, spells, and traps all in the same areas. So he's gonna do 8. I'm gonna speed through this, maybe time lapse if I can. So you're doing it wrong. Oh, you're doing 5 first?
It doesn't matter which one you do first.
Yeah, they can do 5 first or 8 first. It doesn't matter. If your opponent notices that you pile shuffle their deck in piles of 8s, they might do this, so you can stack their deck for them. Be careful for that too.
You can catch people doing this because they're really stingent about making sure every pile goes on perfectly.
Alright, do you know what you're gonna draw? All spells? Alright, yeah, see? He just turned the deck around and it's all in the same order. So, yeah. As you can see, this method of cheating is pretty good. It's just you gotta be careful about your opponent cheating. Alright, next up is something really sneaky. Pretty much pretend I just summoned Reborn Tengu and they have a Sangin on the field with 4 cards in hand. Show them your hand. Alright, his hand is Max C, Mind Control, 1-for-1, Pot of Arrows.
This is really bad because I would actually search Dandy, but that's fine.
Alright, I'd attack his Sangin with my Reborn Tengu, and he takes 700. Now he would ask me, hey, I have a life points problem.
Just do it.
He would say, hey, I have a life points problem. What are life points? And I'd be like...
Wait, am I at 64 or 94?
Yeah, you're at, I don't know, 5,000, according to my calculator.
Oh,
wait a second. What did you search?
Oh, Maxi.
You searched Maxi? Oh, I mean, so he just said he searched Maxi, but he already had a Maxi in hand. Let's see his hand now. Wait, as you notice, he already had Maxi. He searched Heavy, and since he asked me for life points, I didn't even notice that he searched it. And since he had Maxi in hand, he pretty much has proof that he searched it, but it was already in his hand. So be careful for that because some people do it. It happened to me at YCS Ohio. Next up is the reflection on a calculator. I'm not sure if this works. I've never seen a reflection on a calculator, but people say that the deck reflects on the calculator, and you can tell what you're putting. Your opponent can tell what they're putting at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, pretty much just be aware of your opponent's calculator. Don't let them shuffle near it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I don't think this one works, but
yeah.
whatever.
Just be aware of it. Alright, next up is adding cards from your grave to your hand. This happened to me at YCS Ohio against a big cheater. I'm not going to name any names, but yeah. Alright, let's just give you an example of what he did to me. So he summoned Master Hyperion and he removed a Venus from play, but this is pretty much the same thing. So our friend Joe is going to summon BLS, and where'd the Thunder King go? Oh, it went to his hand, yeah. So pretty much, he just added Thunder King to his hand. I mean, the other guy, I caught him on it, but sometimes you might not. And
works great if you have a bigger move from play pile.
Yeah,
and it's just pretty obvious. I only have 1 card in it.
And they might not just do it that way. They might just add cards from their grave to their hand at their leisure, just whenever they want, really. Just be careful.
Or if they need cards in there, they might have their move from play pile up here, and sneak in a dark.
Yeah, they might.
They might ask your life points. It's usually a lot of times what's your life points? And they're like,
yeah, when your opponent's
calculator.
When your opponent's asking your life points, put your calculator on their mat so you can see what they're doing. Next up is different size sleeves. This is gonna be hard to see on the calculator probably, but yeah, on the camera. Okay, that's wait. I'm on Zoom so I can see. Pull it back. Pull it back. Pull it back. All right. See that? You can definitely see that right there. Gateway of the Sixth Samurai. You can get to it every time, but it's in the same color sleeve. It's just a little bit bigger because different companies make different size sleeves. So yeah, it's just they can cheat with even a different size sleeve. So make sure all their sleeves are the same size. Alright, next up is not really your opponent cheating. Well, it is cheating, but it's them taking advantage of you. You say, they ask you what life points are, and you're like, oh, I'm at 25, you're at 3,000. But on their calculator, it says they're at 100. So they're going to be like, oh yeah, I am at 3,000. That's them cheating. It's as simple as that. So
a big one is if your opponent doesn't take, if they're taking life points and you deal damage to them and they don't like immediately do it, you need to remind them, can you like mark that you just took 17 from Tengu? And then they'll be like, all right, fine. And they'll actually put it on their calculator. And then just constantly ask, okay, so you're at 63 to my 8,000?
Yeah.
Yes. And on the next turn, you know, you attack with Thunder King and Tengu. Okay, so you just took 19 and 17, put you at 27.
That's
you haven't written that down yet. Could you write down 27? Or could you put that in your calculator? Just make sure there's always that communication to keep the life points on the same.
Yep. Alright, next up is taking advantage of rolling. Give me a monster real quick. Thunder King. Alright, so pretty much what we're doing here is I'm trying to explain how people are going to try to take advantage of you as much as possible. Not everyone, but like cheaters in general. This is pretty much soft cheating. They're just like taking advantage of rulings. Here's an example. I attack into your Tengu with my Thunder King, and you get a Tengu. I end my turn. I end phase. I enter end phase. He activates Scapegoat. Scapegoat obviously says you cannot special summon during the turn you use this, but he did special summon Tengu, so you can't do it. If your opponent doesn't know it, if the cheater's opponent doesn't know it, they might try, and if it doesn't succeed, then they'll just do it next turn. Like, they're not going to get any penalties for trying to activate a card. They'll just say, whoops, I didn't know.
Here's another one.
Sure, we'll let Yu-Gi-Oh! Trader 101 do another example. One for one. Dandelion. Alright, he's going to use 1 for 1 Dandelion, get 2 tokens, and then get Glow Bulb. Ooh, I just thought of another way to cheat.
Oh yeah. You can't tribute Dandelion tokens a turn that they activate, but a lot of times people won't realize that if they go through all of these things. Like, maybe if I had more monsters on the board, I used like Bulb's effect here, and I had a Spore engrave, and I did all this, and then at the end of it, I tributed a token for Kai's. A lot of people don't pay attention to, oh, wait a minute, he 1 for 1 Dandy, you can't tribute those tokens this turn. But if you go through like 5 or 6 other plays, I only went through, of course, 2 here, but if you go through 5 or 6 other plays, sometimes people will be so distanced from that Dandelion that they'll forget about it.
That brings me to another thing I want to talk about, and that is just like your opponent prolonging the turn so that they can make different plays. Like they can summon 2 monsters in a turn, or do something like Yu-Gi-Oh! Trader 101 said. So when your opponent's taking a long time, just like be aware of what they're doing. Just be careful, because they could be summoning Debris Dragon and Sangin in the same turn, or Agent of Mystery Venus and Earth in the same turn. Oh, I mean, it happens, so just... Alright, next up is foil stacking. Before we start the video, I just want to let you guys know that ultimate rares are really flimsy. Commons are a little less flimsy than ultimates, but they're still flimsy. And any kind of foils outside of ultimates are usually thick. So, as you can tell, they're all different thicknesses, and when you're shuffling your deck, you can if you even like flick a card like this, you can usually tell what the rarity is. And some people just like pile shuffle your deck, so they put all the commons in one area, and they put all the commons at the top of your deck, since commons are usually the worst cards in your deck. So here's an example. Yu-Gi-Oh! Trader 101 is going to try. People like put the cards in different piles, and yeah, one pile has the commons. Like I said, we're not cheaters, we don't know how to do this, but he's gonna try and explain to you guys. If you see your opponent putting the cards in different areas, they just randomly, they might be foil stacking. Alright, so let's just see if it worked. Alright, see, the commons and the ultimates were together. That's
That's pretty good.
Alright, I have no idea what happened here. I mean, there's a couple amount of...
This is bad.
Alright, whatever.
Try again.
No, that's it, guys. Just be aware of that as well. Alright, so next is something people like to call the Roy Sinclair. Because he started it, he's a cheater. Alright, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Trader 101 is going to go first, and we'll try to explain it to you guys.
I'm going first. I have 6 cards in hand. Go ahead.
Alright, I draw for my turn, and I set 3 back rows, and end my turn. Or 4 back rows, sure. Some of these are probably monsters. Ooh. Ah. Alright, he attacks for 19. Go. I draw for my turn, I end.
Go.
Alright, this is gonna get somewhere, I promise, guys. I end my turn after drawing a card. Go.
Tap.
Alright, I take it.
Tap.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Draw.
Cards in hand?
5.
How do you have 5 in hand? I have 4.
What do you mean?
How do you have 5 cards in hand?
You went first, right?
Yeah, I went first.
But you have 8 cards to my 9 and you went first? I'm cheating. No, wait, you didn't draw a card last turn. You're a cheater.
No, I went first.
Alright, that's what Roy Sinclair did. He pretty much he skips a draw and blames you for drawing extra cards. Yeah, he just skips a draw, and he'll probably ask you what your life points are or something before he end the draw phase. Yep. Next up is sleeving. I'm pretty sure you can see that card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Trader 101 sleeve. Pretty much it's when you put a card in your sleeve and you pretend to draw it. It's pretty close to palming and lapping. It's in that area of cheating. And yeah, I just cut his deck. Let's look. Oh! I mean, that was pretty unsuspicious. Like, I did not notice that. I'm just gonna put that out there. It's pretty, it's crazy how many ways there are of cheating. Look, he has Gateway. Alright, so next up is putting a card in the deck upside down. Pretty much, yeah, he's gonna put a card in the deck upside down, and that makes it so you can get to the card faster, because if your deck's not all the same way, I don't know.
You see a very distinct white line.
Yeah, see the white line?
Dust chute is.
He can get to the dust chute every time.
Very easily.
They didn't see it. See?
It happened a lot with Crush Card. They'd like present the deck and you could blatantly see a line, so they would.
Yeah, I can see the line easily.
This worked like when you were allowed to cut your opponent's deck after they cut it. So your opponent would cut your deck, they'd give it back to you, and you'd be like, well, I want to open my dust chute, so let's open my dust chute.
Alright. Yep.
And double tank you.
Alright, this way of cheating was pretty much only used for Infernities, because they need no hand to continue their plays and such, but yeah, so pretty much Infernities would like pretend this is like a Mirage, yeah.
Activate?
They would, yeah, he would use his Mirage, summon the 2 monsters, but his back rows would be a monster in the back row. Pretty much when you open up double monsters, you just set them to the back row to make it so you have no hand. And that's pretty much it for Infernity cheating.
It's hard to catch.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. I just want to let you guys know, please don't use this video to help yourself cheat. This was only to help you avoid cheating. So I hope you enjoyed the video.